Welcome to the Boom Bap Kingdom. Yo, peace and welcome to the Boom Bap Kingdom. I'm glad you were able to join today. I'm going to get through this one pretty quick. I was just kind of sitting and thinking about how the industry has changed so much, specifically regarding the tools that we use to make this stuff happen. Way back in the days, you had Linn drums, stuff like that couldn't even sample, rolling 808s and the 909s, et cetera, et cetera. That stuff couldn't even sample, and the sampling kind of became a thing over time. And if you look at the price points, if you just do a little research and you look at the cost of some of these machines, I remember when the MPC3000 was released, it was literally $4,000, which was insane, in those days, to just be a guy that you're trying to get on and you need the right tools for the job and you can't afford it, right? So nowadays, it is cheaper to make these electronics. The cost to make these things has drastically reduced in some cases. I do believe some of these things may still be a little overpriced, cost a little bit more than maybe they're worth. That's relative, to the person who's thinking about this and who's observing it. There has been an influx of budget-friendly samplers. However, these samplers, they're not just cheap, they are capable. So it's important to understand budget-friendly and capability. For instance, you can have an Isla S2400, which is a fantastic machine. But when you break down what it can do versus, say, an SP404 Mark II, then you start to think, well, $500 versus $1,800 US. So there is that component where we think about pricing and capability. If you're not thinking about that, you should. If you're not on a budget, then that's okay. If you just say, hey, I want that, and it doesn't matter what it costs, bang, go get that. But if you're on a budget like most people who are making beats and producing are, with that being said, you may want to start to think about cost and features, that ratio. So for instance, with that example of the 2400, it really doesn't have any effects at this time. There's no delays, there's no reverbs, there's no compression, there's none of that. Whereas you can get a $500 404 Mark II or the KO2 EP133 for that matter from Teenage Engineering, et cetera, and there are effects, MPC1s, et cetera. There will be some effects. So where I'm going with it and what I was thinking about was this influx of budget-friendly samplers that are capable. Are they like powerhouses? No, not at all. But are they capable and do they sound good? Yes. So when you think about the Lo-Fi 12 from Liven, the KO2 from Teenage Engineering, SP404, etc., and then that new Liven Lo-Fi 12 XT, the sample track, there is this market for low budget samplers, and I own a couple of low budget samplers. I have the KO2, I have the Liven Lo-Fi 12, I have a 404 Mark II over there. So with that being said, I started to think about maybe doing a comparison between the low budget samplers that I currently own, the KO2, the Lo-Fi 12, and the 404. The 404 definitely being the more powerful of the three. However, is it the best for you? I don't know. But I'm going to jump on this KO2 today, just kind of chop up some stuff briefly. And then the next video will probably be the 404 and then the Lo-Fi 12. And then I'm kind of going to give, my opinion on their use cases, what may be better, what may not be better, at least, you know, for me and my purposes. So nonetheless, let's check out what we got going on the KO2. And I appreciate you guys for joining. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Check out the boombapkingdom.com. A lot of the samples and stuff that I chop up, the drums, etc. You can find those in the packs that are currently there. And there's a lot of new stuff coming, new sample packs, new albums, etc., etc. Be on the lookout for that, the boombapkingdom.com. All right, let's go. Let's get into it real quick. In Group A, I just have some horn samples, nothing crazy. Group B, I have my drums. And that's it. Okay. And Group C, I have a bass shot that I turned into keyboard mode. And I don't know if that's the right pitch yet. I might have to pitch it down a little bit. We'll see. I did come up with a nice, gritty, grimy drum pattern. These drums are pitched. Would you like to hear it? Here it goes.
Boom Bap Kingdom says it's time for some drums.
So you have some drums there, nice and grimy. That's all I got. And we'll see. This beat is not going to be super in depth. All right, so in Group A, horns, I do want to pitch them because in my mind, I'm kind of hearing something that I'm not too sure I can pull off. So that's the highest pitch.
The Boom Bap Kingdom says, let's pitch these fucking samples.
So in my experience, when you're pitching samples, it makes sense to like go all the way up and then kind of start going down. It's kind of like it tells the machine, hey, we're starting here at the highest semitone and then we're working our way back. That's just been my experience, especially with SP1200, S2400. That kind of makes a lot of sense to do that with those machines. Now, see, that's my point right there. I went all the way up, but the machine didn't catch up to know I was at the highest semitone. So when that happens, you're not going to get the full range of pitch on that unit. Okay, I think we're on to something already. It's going to be real simple. I like that already. Let me see something. Maybe we could do a little boom bap echo in the middle of that. So what we'll do is just go to sound. We'll go to Control C, select the pad, Control D. Now it's here. And we'll do the same because I'll probably need like 3 or 4. Boom bap echo on the KO2.
The Boom Bap Kingdom says that's official.
All right, I got it. I think what I need to do though is just bump up the volume of the chops, the boom bap echo chops. But I think we got it. Let's lay it down and then we'll turn the volume up in a second. Yo, I like that. So I'm on the one shot and then I'm gonna just turn up that volume just a tad, then go back to keys. So now I have my bass line. Oh, I like that. I think we got it. Yeah, I think we got it. Let's turn it up. I need a hook because I'm not really worried about offsets. I could easily do that with the chops, but I do want a hook. So let's see, we got. Now in this sample, I hear that end, that little guitar. So I think I want that. Trim. I like that. I might, I have two options here. Now I can copy that out, pitch the different pads, or I could put it in the keys mode and play it that way. Keys might be better. That sounds kind of dope. Now I do need to pitch that. I'm just trying to find the right pitch. That's wrong. Yo, there you have it. We jumped on here real quick. I just wanted to mess around with the workflow. I wanted to jump back on it to refamiliarize myself with it. What we did was we made a group with some horn chops and we pitched them down. Just basic drums, you know. When I'm on the joint, this particular unit, I do feel like I'm on a vintage sampler. So it does give me, it puts me in the mind state of MPC60, MPC3000. And I think that's why I like it so much. The limitations, it's not difficult, but it's not easy either. I think if you come from the old school era, you know how to chop samples based on ear and not seeing a waveform, etc. It makes it a lot easier for you. If you're coming from very high-end modern machines and then you jump on this, you're going to be like, you might get frustrated. So just keep that in mind if you do plan to purchase one of these in the future. You understand that it is definitely a vintage mindset type of sampler. I think the unit is good for what it is at its price point. You do get a lot for its price point. I will say that there are some critical features that are still missing, like truncate. Like, I think that is super important. You have trim, but you don't have truncate. Let's just say you, by mistake, you choose a different sample, and then you say, oh, I remember the number of the sample I chopped up. Let me put it back. Let me assign it back to the pad. It's going to be in its original state, pitch and everything. And you have to start over. And that, I think, is horrible for workflow. Hopefully they'll add truncate and all that kind of stuff in the future. But yeah, if you're on a budget, is it an option? Absolutely. I appreciate you guys rocking with the Boom Bap Kingdom as always. Thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. We're in here doing the authentic New York City Golden Era Boom Bap stuff. You know what we do here. Check me out on the boombapkingdom.com, and we'll leave you with the finished joint.
BBK salute.
Peace.